Good morning, this is the latest market news. I am Uliana. Asian shares were mixed on Tuesday ahead of the US presidential election, while the Australian dollar continued to rise after the Reserve Bank of Australia held back from cutting interest rates. The RBA announcement to leave rates unchanged at 3.25% was a mild surprise judging by the Australian dollar's reaction. The Australian dollar popped up a quick 30 points versus the US dollar in knee-jerk reaction and extended its gains a while later. In its accompanying statement, the RBI noted that China growth had stabilized and the world economy was looking slightly more positive, though the risk for the global outlook was still titled to the downside. The Australian dollar jumped higher after the decision to 1.0425 US dollars. Most currencies were fairly quiet over the last 24 hours as the focus remains on the US election tonight. As a general rule, uncertainty is risk negative, and so while things remain unclear, in the tight presidential race markets will mostly favor the US dollar and Japanese yen. In most cases over the last 24 hours, the markets have shrugged off any positive data while taking anything negative as a good sign to sell out of riskier assets and buy the safe havens. The Euro-US dollar fell below 1.27 overnight, its lowest level in nearly 2 months, and will likely remain under pressure while the Greek issue hangs over it. In other currencies, we have the US dollar Japanese yen lower currently at 80.25 as the yen benefits from risk aversion flows. Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index was 0.5% lower. In China, the Shanghai Composite dropped by 1.5%. Japan's Nikkei was 0.3% lower. Australia's ASX 200 was up 0.2%, little changed after the Reserve Bank of Australia's policy meeting. South Korea's Kospi advanced 0.5%. As the countdown to the US election result begins, we take a look at the key battleground state of Ohio, in addition to UK manufacturing output and Eurozone PPI. UK manufacturing output will be released at 9:30 GMT. The UK manufacturing sector is expected to show little sign of progress when the UK Office for National Statistics releases its data for September. Manufacturing output in the UK is forecast to grow by 0.3% on a month-on-month basis, but likely contract by 0.9% on a year-on-year basis, according to analyst estimates. The manufacturing PMI fell to 47.5 from a downwardly revised 48.1 in September, moving further below the 50 mark, which separates growth from contraction. It was the latest market news provided by ICO FX. Goodbye.